Our next honoree is C. Shekhar Mayanil. Now, if those of you who have the privilege of walking through our institution, you know, every now and then you run into somebody who is so terribly enthusiastic about their work, and one of the most bubbly, supportive, enthusiastic people that you run into. And they make you feel great just by running into them and being in their presence. And you are one of those individuals that we all look forward to. We really appreciate your enthusiasm and your excitement for your work. Dr. Mayanil is a researcher in the Developmental Biology program at the Children's Memorial Research Center and an assistant professor of neurological surgery at the Feinberg School of Medicine. He is also director of the Developmental Neurobiology Research Program in the Division of Pediatric Neurosurgery at Children's Memorial. His scientific focus is the development and repair of neural tube defects like spina bifida, which occur early in fetal development. Children's has the largest spina bifida clinic in the United States with more than 1,500 registered patients. These children, as you may know, face many challenges. They include physical and neurological problems, learning disabilities, social challenges, and emotional issues. This disability also places significant psychosocial and financial burdens on the children as well as their families. This young gentleman was able to collect a wide variety of data from every one of our patients that's providing essential knowledge to answering some of the most difficult and challenging questions. One of Dr. Mayanil's recent studies focused on the understanding and reversing genetic errors in neural crest stem cells. Now, these are cells involved in the formation of spinal and autonomic nerve tissues, as well as the connective tissue around the brain and the spinal cord. He's also involved in a project to identify mechanisms and targets that are affected by folic acid, which may lead to therapies that could potentially repair spina bifida and related birth defects in the newborn. Dr. Mayanil received the 2009-2010 Rhodes Research Scholar Award for spina bifida research, and was also recently recognized at the first World Congress on Spina Bifida Research and Care for his absolutely outstanding and stellar original research work. Dr. Mayanil, it is my pleasure to invest you as the Eleanor Clarke Research Scholar in Developmental and Neurobiological Research. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Pat. That was great, really. I always bump into you, I know that. As someone said, a good beginning and a good ending makes a good speech. And if they come really close to each other. The best speech is which has no middle at all. And the very best speech is that which is never delivered, or it cannot be delivered. I think by default, I shall deliver the very best speech. The reason is there are some individuals in this audience that in no possible way I can come close to thanking them. So the best way to thank them is to remain indebted to them and carry the torch that has been handed over to me with infinite compassion and belief that I shall carry the work on. Now, I just put this is a small turtle here, right? Can't even stand there. When you see this turtle sitting on this podium, you know beyond the shadow of the doubt that he could not have done it himself. Cannot climb it. How can a turtle climb up this podium? For this turtle, to stand here and deliver the undeliverable, there are several people who have made it possible. These are the ones I want to remain indebted to die indebted, because any effort on my part to thank them is futile and rude. That is where the best speech is, the one that cannot be delivered. Albert Einstein, when he was 27 years old, was asked, "Do you believe in God?" And Einstein said, "Of course not. I am a scientist." 4 decades later, he was asked, "Do you believe in God?" And the answer was, "Of course, I am a scientist." Such is my story too. I started my journey as an atheist, die-hard atheist actually, and now I believe. That is what science can do. Science can convert an atheist into a theist. That is a miracle. At the outset, I will thank God for everything that has happened to me as a scientist. But my restless mind always wanted to see God. Since God cannot be everywhere, that is why He sent Dr. McClone in my life. He's sitting there. In a silent conversation with God, several years ago, I asked, "God, they say that the prayers are answered. But this is not you, this is Dr. McClone. I want to see you and thank you." And the answer came, "If I was to assume a human form, then that human form will be Dr. McClone." Eureka. I was fired up. I got the answer, right? So I went to meet Dr. McClone in his clinic when he's surrounded with so many patients. When you're excited, that's what happens, right? I'm here. Do you have appointment? No, I'm right here. So that's what happened. I went to meet Dr. McClone, and he was surrounded with spina bifida patients. His infinite love and compassion was showered upon me instantly. I was almost about to say thank you for accepting me to work for you. He somehow sensed me, and he immediately almost stopped me from saying so and said, "I'm not your boss. This child in the wheelchair is your boss. In fact, she is my boss too. We both report to her and children's in her situation." He added that there shall be times when you will feel like quitting and run away because you had a bad day or your experiments did not work. And he said, "Remember, Shekhar, you can, but this child cannot. Whatever you find it easy to do, this child cannot. So never take anything that you have got, even the ability to run away from your problems, for granted. This kid does not have the ability even to run away from her problems." I was sold right there. My throat choked. "Sir, I am in." I blurted in an inaudible whisper. In order to hide my tears, I ran out of his sight. Infinite compassion at work, which, Pat, you were talking about a few minutes ago. Infinite compassion at work I saw right here in front of me. I had just seen God live. That was my first and the last scientific discussion I had with Dr. McClone. He never asked me how is my work or how is science or anything of that sort. He just kept saying, "Shekhar, you'll be famous," with a mischievous chuckle so characteristic of Dr. McClone. If you met him, you have to. So the "show it to me and then I will believe it" attitude was changed into "believe and it shall be shown to you." This is how impact impactful my association with Dr. McClone is. Earlier, I thought I will believe in Dr. McClone as if I was doing him a favor. As years went by, I realized that it is not that I believe in Dr. McClone, it is Dr. McClone who believes in me unconditionally. Dr. McClone led me to Jack Kessler, who mentored me in science. He apparently could not be here, but he has sent me his good wishes. His compassion was of a fierce kind, not of a kind, but fierce kind. Anybody who knows Dr. Jack Kessler, they will subscribe to what I am saying. Not only did he appear, but he was absolutely ruthless, both inside and outside. He meant it. I needed that much needed whip to grow as a scientist. Later on, I realized that he really cared for my success as a scientist, and he made me tough. He taught me to focus and think outside the box. I shall remain indebted to him. The baton was passed over to Dr. Tomita, who's sitting right here. In Indian mythology, if anybody is aware of Indian mythology, there is a trinity, the Brahma, the Vishnu, and the Mahesh. If Dr. McClone is Brahma, or the creator of scientist in me, then Dr. Tomita is the Vishnu, or the sustainer of that scientist in me. They both have a distinct role to play in my life. I do not know what I had done to deserve such unconditional love from Dr. Tomita. He is a person of infinite heart. He should be a cardiologist, but he is a neurosurgeon. To some, he might appear tough, but he is almost like a coconut. Have you seen a coconut? With appearance of hard shell, but the inside core is as soft as a butter. Somebody's pain immediately melts him. This is what Children's Memorial Medical Center is all about, made out of people like Dr. McClone and Dr. Tomita. Dr. Tomita supported my work with fierce enthusiasm. Now he is encouraging my involvement in pediatric brain tumor, clinical translation research using nanotechnology, in addition to my research on stem cell proliferation and differentiation using small molecules by epigenetic mechanisms. I want to remain indebted to you, Dr. Tomita, but I cannot thank you. The later part of my scientific career was backed by another fierce believer in me, Phil Anacone. Any help, he is always there. Of course, Shekhar is his typical answer. He indeed is a solution finder. You can go with a problem and he has a unique way of handling it without getting turbulent or frazzled. This is an immense leadership quality. You mentioned about leadership. Phil is the one. Even before I knew him, I was a big fan of his work and a silent admirer of his very thought-provoking work on fractals in biology. He embodies a true creative scientist and a great human being. He has qualities worth emulating. If Phil Anacone is the solution finder, then Mary Hendricks is a problem buster. Problems shudder with the idea of coming near her because she has one of the very genuine and infectious smiles that I have ever seen in a person. Problems do not come to a person who smiles. I firmly believe that she must be smiling in her sleep too. She is a very vibrantly positive person that it drips from her being, wherever. How is your work, Shekhar? She always asks me. Trust me, Mary, that means a world to me. I work hard just so that you can, when you ask me the same question next time, I should have something positive to say to match your personality. And it happened. In the last 9 months, because of your asking me, how is your work, Shekhar? Our lab has published 4 papers in very high impact journals and 1 invited review and 2 papers ready to be submitted this month. So my early CMRC career, I call it crib, was in neurobiology, and I'm very thankful to Marty Bone for helping me out during those times. Next, I would like to thank Barbara Mania Farnell. She's sitting right there. who comes once from Purdue University to our lab, but her contribution to our research defies description. We have a Thursday green tea meeting in our lab, and she gives birth to a mastermind alliance within this group. That discussion is so powerful. Individually, we may not be significant, but collectively, it's an explosion. I'm very thankful to you. And I'm thankful to Ichi, sitting there, Wanda, Sharma, Guifa, Takao, and Sana, right there. And I'm also thankful to you, Dr. Hernandez, if you are around, right there, yes. I'm really, really honored to have a friend who I met after 38 years gap. And he happens to be in the audience, Francis Chow, who flew from Toronto, Canada just few minutes ago to be right here. His generous contribution in financial terms has helped support our early work this year, and I really greatly acknowledge that. Thank you, Francis. Last but not the least, I want to thank you. But my tongue is experiencing grand mal epilepsy right now. The very thought of thanking you. Hence, I want to deliver the best speech right here, the very best speech, that which cannot be delivered, but it can only be done by remaining indebted to you, Charlie and Ellie, for bestowing me this honor. I describe you both as the most beautiful people on planet. Now, I have a reason to say that. I'll tell you why. Beauty surpasses generosity. In generosity, there is giving, and beauty is a gift. For example, a rose is beautiful because it gives fragrance as gift without expecting anything in return. Whereas in giving, there may be a desire of something in return. What can I give Ellie and Charlie back to you? Am I even capable of doing that? This kind of gesture is a gift and not giving. And that's why I call it beautiful. You guys are essentially serving mankind. And I am overwhelmed with gratitude that you have chosen me to serve mankind through your philanthropy. Ellie and Charlie today stands as one of my most meaningful moments in my career. And I am grateful to you for the important role you are playing in making this moment possible. It is my privilege to celebrate your philanthropy, and it is with great responsibility that I shall occupy the endowed chair in your daughter's name, Eleanor. It takes a whole village to raise a child, goes the saying. And I am very thankful to all my friends and family sitting in the second row here. Of course, last row, this row, everybody. Especially to my wife, Ashu, sitting here, who has gathered here to celebrate this joyous moment with me. I thank Almighty once again, and my parents, who took a major brunt of their life in making me grow as a person. Thank you so much. Thank you very much.